I'm Michael Heaton from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I play third base here at Spokane Falls Community College.
When did you start playing baseball?
When I was 7. My older brother quit soccer to play baseball, and then the year after that, I did the exact same thing.
Have you always played baseball, or have you ever played any other sports?
I played soccer when I was really young because my brother played soccer. Then he quit soccer to play baseball, and I did the same thing. And from about the age of 7, I played hockey right up through high school, and then quit hockey to play baseball.
In college?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy school?
I didn't up until college.
Would you say baseball has an impact on your school, positive or negative?
I think it has a positive impact because, I'm motivated to keep my grades up just so I can stay eligible. And I think having like a coach, especially like Coach Lee, who's always like on you about grades and stuff like that, that's pretty important to him that I do well. So having him constantly checking up on us, motivates me to do well. Plus, I actually like going to school, so I'd be going to school anyways if I wasn't playing baseball. But I think with baseball, there's that level of motivation.
So when did you know that you wanted to be a student athlete and perform in college?
I think it was grade 11 when I decided that I quit hockey to play baseball all year round. And it was around grade 11 when I decided that I would like to play college baseball.
What have your experiences been like so far in your career?
Extremely positive. I've loved playing here for the last 2 years. I could probably say that some of my best friends are from this team.
Have you had a positive experience with baseball and school?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, especially because the opportunities that I've gotten from Spokane Falls, I get to move on next year, so that wouldn't have happened if I didn't come here, and I wouldn't be going to such a great school if I didn't get the grades I got here.
So if you weren't playing sports, what would your life be like? Would you still go to school? How would school be like without that discipline of baseball?
Yeah, I'd still be going to school. I'd be at a 4-year in Canada, but just because the family I come from, my dad and my mom both have their master's degrees and stuff like that, so I'd still be going to school. But even now, being out of season, schooling is a lot harder. It's a lot harder to motivate yourself just because you really have no incentive to go. It's kind of like I have to get myself out of bed instead of getting grades for my teammates and stuff. Now I'm kind of doing it for myself, so it's my own motivation that's got to get me out of bed to go to class. So it'd probably be a lot harder. I'd probably have my parents down my throat a lot.
Do you think being an athlete causes favoritism with a professor, or do you think it's just as tough or just as normal as a regular student?
Depends on the class. Some of my classes are honors classes, so they don't really. I feel like in the honors classes, they just look at me as another student. But in some of the normal classes, I think because most athletes are in normal classes, I feel that at the start of the year, teachers are actually a lot harder on me, or on student athletes in general, I guess. And that'd be an example would be my psych class from last spring, where I was confused with an assignment, and she sent us the assignment before the quarter started, and so I sent her an email saying that I play on the baseball team. Some of the deadlines I won't be able to make because we'll be traveling on those days, and I also asked about this assignment, and I got a one sentence response saying just because you're a student athlete doesn't mean that you get skipped out on deadlines. That wasn't my intention. I ended up calling her later on saying that's not my intention.
Yeah.
But I feel just knowing that he's a student athlete, I feel like they're a lot harder on us.
I'm Shalina Duford. I'm from Polson, Montana, and I play softball, and I'm a center fielder.
When did you start playing softball?
I would say I started when I was about 6 years old, and then I just haven't stopped since.
Have you enjoyed school growing up?
Yeah, most of it. I don't enjoy homework and that kind of stuff, but I like going to school.
When did you know you wanted to be a student athlete?
I never really put the whole student athlete part together until I probably got to high school and realized how important grades were to be able to play. Before then, I just looked at it as I was just like more of an athlete, but then probably freshman year, I decided I wanted to be a student athlete because I knew you had to have the student part to be an athlete.
What's your favorite part about being a student athlete?
I would say my favorite part about being a student athlete is, especially in high school, because I'm from a small town, I felt like the teachers knew who you were more. They were more accepting of late work and that kind of stuff, which probably isn't fair, but they understand like you missing class for sports and stuff. But
do you think school has a positive or negative effect towards your softball?
I would say it has a positive effect because it pushes me to work harder in the classroom and on the field.
What would you say is the worst part?
The worst part about being a student athlete, I feel the teachers expect so much more out of you because they expect you to perform in the classroom and on the field.
So, do you think it's fair if you have a test on a Friday and you have to take it on a Thursday and you have one less day to prepare?
No, I don't necessarily think that's fair, but I also think as an athlete you get leniency in other ways that other kids don't, so it's not necessarily fair, but in the long run I think it evens out what athletes get over what regular students get from their teachers and stuff.
If you weren't playing softball, how do you think you would look at school?
I really don't think I would take it very seriously because really the only reason I feel like in high school I worked hard to get good grades in my classes and in college was to make sure that I was able to play. And without the motivation of sports, I don't know if I would be as motivated to perform in the classroom.
What have your experiences been like at Spokane Falls?
Just as an athlete or both a student and an athlete?
Both student and athlete.
As a student, my experiences were good. I enjoyed my classes and my professors, and really only had issues with one professor and missing for sports. Other than that, everybody else was pretty helpful. And for athletics, I have loved my time here. I love my coaches. I love my teammates, and I just love the Bigfoot community of athletes. I guess like everybody kind of gets along, and we all have fun together.
Do you plan on continuing with being a student athlete, or just being a student?
No. Next year, I think I am just going to be a student. Which is going to be interesting because that'll be the first time in my life that I'm just a student, but it'll be different, it'll be fun.
How would you summarize a normal day as a softball player at Spokane Falls?
I would say you wake up and you either have class from 7:30 till 10:30, or you have class from 8:30 to 11:30, and then you go straight from there to, we have hitting before practice for an hour, and then we'd go into our practice, and that would be probably about 2.5 to 3 hours depending on the day, and then we would go to weights for another hour, and then after that you have to come home and try to find time to do all your homework and make dinner, do chores around the house, go grocery shopping, and then find time to get to bed on time and then wake up and do it all over again. It's pretty exhausting sometimes, but
So would you say it's pretty hard to motivate yourself to get your homework done?
yeah, that was one of my biggest struggles when I started as a freshman, because I would come home from practice and I would be so tired. The last thing that I wanted to do was homework, and so once my grades started slipping and my coach got on me, then I realized that you had to just like power through it and get it done.
And that motivated you as well?
Yeah, because she told me if I didn't get my grades up, I wouldn't be playing. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.